Alright, we're here with a hot review. We ended up reading IDW's TMNT, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Volume 1. That's right, we ended up reading Volume 1 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from IDW. We're going to go over briefly what we ended up having art-wise. While we ended up going over through the art, we'll end up covering what we thought about the book, or what's going on in the book, and then we'll review our final thoughts about the book itself. Editor here. What we're going to end up doing is giving a heads up because the book looks like it's coming over with a manga. It's really a original way that goes over with it. We just took the camera, flipped it over, and evidently the way that we flipped it didn't go too well. But that's just giving you a heads up. So I'm going to be opening up the book the opposite way that's going to be that it normally would go. Out of 10. Alright, let's get it going. Alright, it's going to be shell of a time because we're going to be covering Volume 1 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from IDW. So we'll start off with what this includes. So we're going to start off with the first issue, be flipping through, and this is where we're going to have some nice voiceover action that goes on with this. So buckle up, grab your slice of pizza, and let's have a shell of a time. So in the first few issues, we get established with the new way that the entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle family comes together. We end up getting new origins, how they ended up getting their names, and we ended up getting a new way that they ended up coming together. Also, an addition of another character is also going to be found in this way. The big thing that I thought was a little bit different is that if you look in the art, they ended up having like a sea turtle leg. But, hey, that's a little bit different. It's a little bit easier to draw fins than it is feet, evidently. Having a right line fell failing. But I detract, so I got to come back on there. So we ended up getting new characters that comes over with it. We get the new origins. And then we end up getting some of the old characters, but in new ways that we end up meeting them up. Such as Casey Jones and Raphael. That entire relationship is still pretty solid that you end up having along with it. But Casey ends up having some kind of shenanigans that's happening into his life along with the path. And then April ends up actually being part of in a lab instead of being a news reporter, so it's a kind of a little bit different origins for her as well. And then we get an interesting aspect of this idea of reincarnation that you end up seeing. I'm not going to say who is reincarnated and whom, but if you end up reading the story, you'll end up finding out who that is. Where we get villains from the entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mythos, where we ended up getting Baxter Stockman, even Shredder, and even Crane that's in this series. Granted, it's a different ways that they all end up meeting and coming over with it, but we also get a new villain added with, I believe it's Hobbs, is what his end up names being. So it's a neat little way that we ended up having that, and Hobbs has a little bit of a more of a connection with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Splinter. And then we also have a big Splinter aspect that ends up having a nice unforetold story that's also along with this. There's some good amount of action. However, give a heads up, the first like 5-ish issues, it's a little bit slower, but once it starts picking up, it starts going over with it. Final note, the micro-series has different art all throughout the different series. Alright, let's flip right over, back to the main camera. We'll be able to give you our final thoughts about the book itself. About the book, this is an interesting book because this ends up having the first 12 issues of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. At the time it was an ongoing series. Has Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, and the Splinter mini one-shot series as well. It's a very good, quick read. I want to say it's a little bit over 300 pages that you can end up having. Editor popping in for a second time. What the heck is he doing over on this video? I see that he didn't end up making a nice little scale that's coming over with it. We will give the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1 an 8.5 out of 10. You can get this in a hardcover like this is, or you can end up picking up as a soft cover. I don't know about the soft cover, but I know the hardcover comes with this nice little ribbon that you can end up using as a bookmark, which is kind of a little bit handy. So, with this also being a different Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, in this book we end up picking up the different origins. We get to see how it ends up going, and, well, how they end up getting named and what's going on, and have a different way that they ended up coming together. Just to give you a heads up, it's a little bit slower in the beginnings, but then it starts picking up pace. I can't wait to read volume 2, and this is one of, I believe it's going to be 18 different volumes that it has all together to have the complete run of the IDW run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They did go through a reset with Jason Aaron heading the helm now, so I don't know how that ends up working with it. It's definitely a way to refresh the entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles brand, and honestly, I kind of enjoyed this series so far. Now, if you're looking to pick this up, you can go visit organicpricebooks.com, use the discount code of FitFitJack to save $2 off. If you have 4 or more books, use the code JACKETTOGETHER to save 5% off your entire order instead. Orders of $30 or more ends up getting free shipping, so it's a wide way win-win-win. What did you think of the book? Let us know down in the comments down below if you ended up reading this book. Thank you for watching. Oh, and if you're liking the content we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified whenever we come out with new content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.